morning.
Good morning, guys. Hi, guys.
Get all the fans. Thanks for coming in, Sofia.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. So happy to be here. How's everyone doing? Good. Hi.
Great to have you. So we just saw your music video for
Yes.
Back to Beautiful. Stunning. I have
Thank
to say,
you.
when I saw it first, it reminded me of the house in Beauty and the Beast.
You know what? When I saw Beauty and the Beast, I was like, wait a second. Those stairs look familiar.
That's my music
Which is
video.
so amazing. Thank you.
So talk to me a bit about the song, first of all. So I know it's Alan Walker.
Yes.
And then Julia Michaels wrote it too, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
she obviously is, I would think of her as a newbie, but in theory, she's been writing music for a long time. And it's only
Absolutely.
this year with Issues that she's come out and sang her own song.
Yes, absolutely.
So how did that collaboration all happen for you?
You know, when I was a little girl, I always dreamt of sharing music with the world that was meaningful, that told a meaningful story. And Back to Beautiful, I was so lucky that I got to collaborate with Julia, with Alan Walker, and with incredible producer Stargate on the record to create a song that, teaches everyone or tells us all that beauty is not about what we see in the mirror, but it's who we are inside. It's being beautiful in our hearts and in our souls. And I think that's such an important message to say.
So what was your first reaction? Was the song brought to you finished? Did you co-write it?
It was kind of a combination. Like,
Yeah.
the idea was brought, and then we finished it up all together. The production was completely changed. So it was a beautiful collaboration, and we're also thrilled with how it turned out.
So talk to me a bit about some of the messages in it.
Yes.
Like, because obviously some of the lines are very hard-hitting.
Absolutely.
But then the underlying message is the pressure of society,
Yeah.
what typically is seen as beautiful. Like, I listened to it and it hit me because there is
Thank
some
you.
songs that do address those matters, but not so directly. So
Absolutely.
what was your first reaction when you saw the lyrics or created those lyrics, and why is it important to be giving that message today?
I loved so much that the verses were almost like a conversation. Everything was said so simply, but so to the point. And the message at the end of the day was exactly that. You know, beauty is not a physical concept, but who we are on the inside. That each and every single one of us is beautiful just the way we are. To not judge who we are or where we come from, and just know that the most important thing is to love ourselves as we are. And that's what I love so much about this song, is that I get to tell such a meaningful story with Back to Beautiful. So it means a lot to me.
And what sort of reaction have you gotten from the fans? Because obviously they've seen
Yeah.
Love Is the Name is another single
Yes.
you've had out, which is quite different sounding. And then they see you in all the shows that you're on in the movies. What have
Yes.
they said about this song?
You know, before, actually right after the song came out, I did something on Twitter called When Do You Feel Beautiful?
Oh,
and
lovely.
I had some incredible stories of fans say, I feel beautiful when I love myself for who I am. I feel beautiful when I look in the mirror and say, you are beautiful. And I had the most beautiful stories. And I was like, this is what this song is about. And sometimes there was fans who made videos that would kind of talk to me about what this song meant to them.
Yeah.
And it meant the world to me that that they can relate so much to the lyrics.
And that's such like wisdom coming from all the fans, though. And isn't it so
Absolutely.
amazing for them to come to you and say, I feel beautiful when I'm myself or when I love myself? Because
Absolutely.
that's exactly the sort of message that you're hoping to encourage with that music.
Exactly.
It's a great time. So, Love Is the Name is another song, as I said, we've heard from you. And now we have Back to Beautiful. I know, are you working on an album? And
Yes.
they're both very different. So what
Yes.
kind of sound are you gravitating more towards? Or is it going to be a
Absolutely.
mixed bag?
You know, I've always loved songs that are rhythmic and international sounding. So Love Is the Name had kind of that rhythm, and then Back to Beautiful is very EDM influenced.
Yes.
But both of them are, you know, big rhythmic records, and I've always wanted to have records like that because I am a dancer. So dance is a big part of who I am as a performer. But also deep in my heart, I love a ballad and like a beautiful,
Yes.
meaningful story. So like that's my weakness. So I also love beautiful, beautiful ballads like that. So it's kind of a mix of rhythmic records as well as beautiful, heartfelt ballads.
So what sort of things do you listen to then in general yourself? Are you more EDM
know,
inclined?
It's kind of a mix. I've always loved pop music.
Yes.
Like everything from, you know, Elvis Presley to the Beatles to, you know, now I really love Adele, who tells beautiful stories through her writing, Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift. So I kind of love a bit of everything, Chainsmokers. So just as long as the lyrics mean something to me, I fall in love with the record.
Lovely. So then in general, the message of Back to Beautiful is really wholesome, very positive. We know you're a Disney star.
Thank you.
So how much do you tap into your brand as being part of the Disney empire when it comes to your music? Are you mindful of that in terms of lyrics,
Yeah.
in terms of the music videos you make, in terms of the message that you put across?
It's a great question. You know, growing up, I always gravitated towards superstars like Jennifer Lopez,
Yeah.
like Beyonce, who were these empowering, strong women icons. And I was raised by a very strong mother, and my sister and my grandmother, all kind of examples of girl power.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I'm ever lucky enough to be able to do this for a living and to have that kind of responsibility, knowing that there are girls everywhere that look at what I do, I wanted to be able to be that kind of an example of girl power. So that is always very important to me in everything that I do. Whenever I step out and prepare for anything, whenever I choose a song, it's always important that it has some sort of underlying positive message, because I know that there are girls everywhere who look at us and they learn from us, and I always want to keep that in my mind.
So how did the whole Disney thing come about? Like, I know that you were dancing from a young age, acting
Yes.
from a young age, but now you're like a legit multi-hyphenate. So you're a singer, a dancer,
Thank you.
an actor, you're into fashion, you're a host as well. There's so much going on. But I'm really curious of when the whole Disney thing started and how that actually happened. Because what age were you when it happened? Like 20 or so?
I was 21.
21.
Yeah.
So it's been like about 2 or 3
years,
years.
2 years, yeah.
So talk to me just a bit about that time and the immediate aftermath of when you become part of Disney, and like what sort of training, like what sort of
Absolutely.
insight can you give us?
So I've been, I guess, according to my parents, before I was walking and talking, I was singing and dancing. So I've always loved and wanted to be a performer my whole life. So I spent my whole life in school, but outside of school, I was in dance classes, singing lessons, acting classes. When I was 18, I moved to Los Angeles from Miami to go to school at UCLA and to pursue this.
Okay.
So I went to maybe over 200 auditions.
See, and what happened? Did you get some of them get callbacks? How did that process
So
happen?
the first year, definitely no callbacks. But then kind of as time goes on, I felt like the best acting school I ever had was going to these many auditions. And after my 200th something audition is when I was cast as Evie. So it was my first film, my first big job, and it changed my life completely. Like you said, it's been 2 years since Descendants came out, and my life has changed 180 degrees. I get to do what I love every single day of my life. I have been able to shoot 5 movies, release my music, work on my album. So it really has been a dream to be a part of the Disney family and to tell Evie's story.
So, like, it's not just like you got some small acting jobs and gradually made your way. You were literally auditioning, and then you were in Disney, in The Descendants.
It was surreal.
Alongside Dove Cameron. Like, it's huge. So,
Absolutely.
when you were first in, was that like a shock to you? Did they give you some, like, sort of like media training to be, because the Disney brand, the empire is quite specific, but I guess maybe do they cast when they can see the essence of a person and whether or not they're Disney?
You know, I like to think that they do, and I always like to say that the values and morals that I grew up with are in line with what Disney stands for.
Yeah.
So I feel very related to the company and to what they stand for and what they represent. So I didn't really have any training. Kind of jumped into Descendants, and it was like Kristen Chenoweth with Dove Cameron, Boo Boo Stewart, Cameron Boyce, Kathy Najimy, Kenny Ortega, and then this little one with the blue hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Sofia, just like pretend like you know what you're doing.
Well, you're 200 auditions in, so you do know what you're doing.
Thank you.
Stage.
That's what I kind of was like, you know what? They must have picked me for some reason. But you know, I had the incredible guidance of Kenny and all the actors on set, and it was a really incredible experience, and I learned from them every single day. And dancing and singing I've been doing my whole life.
Yeah.
So that for me was so amazing to be able to do in this film, and acting is just something that I love so much. So it kind of reunited everything that I love.
So for those of us who are watching that don't know, Kenny Ortega,
Yes, Kenny Ortega, yeah.
He is a choreographer, right, and director.
Yes, so he
tell me what
directed, you
does.
guys know High School Musical.
Yes.
Michael Jackson.
How could we not?
So all of Michael Jackson's videos, his tours, he is legendary. He did Dirty Dancing as well. So he is really legendary, and he also directed and choreographed Descendants 1 and now Descendants 2.
And through that process then, through going through these auditions, and you're about 20 when all this is happening and you're auditioning.
Yeah, I was
19,
18,
20.
exactly.
What were some of the lessons that you had to learn?
So many lessons, and I was actually talking about this last night with a friend of
Because
mine.
it's tough.
It is, and you have to really, you know, in this business, I always say there's a lot of closed doors, a lot of no's, and a lot of songs that no one ever wants to hear. And one day there is that open door.
Yeah.
And you just have to know that that open door is going to come, that there is that role that is right for you. And you have to look at every audition as more of an opportunity to impress the casting director, to leave your mark, and to keep your head up high. Because if you get destroyed by every single one, it's almost torture. So you just have to believe in yourself and put the work in, and your dreams can come true.
So, yeah, I feel that definitely deserves a round of applause. Power. Totally amazing. It's very inspirational.
Thank you.
So we know that you've already played Cinderella. So Cinderella, If the Shoe Fits.
Yes.
We know that you've seen Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
With Emma Watson.
Absolutely.
I saw it over the weekend. It's absolutely incredible.
Stunning.
So they're making live action remakes of that extent of Beauty and the Beast.
Absolutely.
Of so many movies. There's everything from Pinocchio, Tinkerbell's getting her own one.
No way.
And apparently Reese Witherspoon is associated with it. I just read it on some random article.
Are you kidding me?
Not sure if it's true.
And I've also heard like some rumor that Emma Stone is going to play Cruella.
Ooh.
I don't know if I made that up, but Cruella de Vil, like,
would be good.
So many incredible stories, right? It's just crazy, the Disney empire that has, like, we've all fallen in love with these stories and these princesses and these tales, and to see them come to life is surreal.
And it's so ageless because people
Absolutely.
that can see them now as the live action remake that will get excited already know the story. We've seen it in cartoon form. But then for kids today, when they just see it in live action, like, it's magical, completely timeless.
Yes.
So on that note, who is it that you would love to play? That you think that you would just be the essence of anyway? Because we know you've been Evie, we know you've been Cinderella.
Yeah.
So you were the daughter of the evil queen.
I am the daughter of the evil queen.
Play a good evil queen, perhaps.
Perhaps, but I kind of think it would be cool to play Snow White.
It would be.
Kind of a twist in the story. They are doing Snow White. I've always loved Snow White. So Snow White or Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Esmeralda's
Which
lovely.
I think is such a beautiful story, such beautiful music.
Really sad story.
Really sad, but such a powerful story. Like, especially nowadays, I think it would mean so much to the world.
It would.
I'll take anything, really, if anyone's listening.
You're already a Disney star.
Thank
I'm sure
you.
you're definitely in the mix. So speaking of Disney, Radio Disney Music Awards.
Yes.
We know you're a host of them.
Absolutely.
They're at the end of August, at the end of April, isn't it?
Yes, April 30th on Disney Channel.
So tell us a little bit about your part in that. Because I know last year was your first ever live performance of Love Is the Name. And now you're back there after an amazing year as a host.
Thank you.
So talk to me a bit about what's going to happen.
You know, the Artie Mays have had a really special place in my heart. 2 years ago was the first red carpet I ever walked. Zendaya was hosting. I remember I walked the carpet as Zendaya was walking it. I was like, oh my God, like trying to learn from her posing.
Yeah.
And then the next year I went as a performer. And that year, you know, everyone from Joe Jonas to Gwen Stefani, Ariana Grande were performing. I was like, what am I doing on stage? It was one of those really surreal career moments. And it was my first live performance ever. And it was kind of the debut of Love Is the Name. Yes.
Wow.
And this year I'm coming back as a host, which I'm so excited. It's going to be an amazing show. We have an incredible lineup from Alessia Cara, Jordan Fisher, Britney Spears is receiving the Icon Award. It's going to be a really, really special show. It's the 20th birthday of Radio Disney. So they're making it bigger and better than ever.
And so now going back as a host. Like, does that make you reassess the whole past year and just be like, what?
Absolutely.
How did this all happen?
It's like, what a year it's been. It's been a really beautiful ride. You know, the Radio Disney family has been so special to me, and I'm so excited to take that stage and to just have so much fun.
What has been some of the outstanding moments of the past year?
So many. Well, I think most recently I got to sing the national anthem this weekend at the Nets game, which was really, really surreal. Dwayne Wade was there, and I was like, well, this is really cool. And then recently I was at the Oscars. I got to attend the Oscars, which was a really surreal pinch me moment.
You were hosting the live stream, right? Of the
yes,
Oscars?
I was hosting.
So you were also hosting.
So I was, yes, and I was like, I met Sting, I met Scarlett Johansson, Nicole Kidman. I was like, what? This is surreal. And recently I was in Mexico City and I got to perform Back to Beautiful to 100,000 people. And that was one of those moments where it was like what I had dreamt my whole life kind of came to life. And it was a pinch me moment for sure.
Something that's very special, it seems, about you is that you're able to be so aware of what you're going through while you're going through it and how much you appreciate it. And it's a really good indication of just mindfulness and appreciation. So how How do you kind of, I guess, keep that wisdom and keep yourself grounded like that? Is there things that you do, or is it your upbringing? What do you think it is?
I think it's my family. You know, in this business, it's a crazy world, as we've all heard, but now being in it, it really is. And I think the most important thing in the world is keeping your family close. No one will protect you, love you, or tell you the truth like your family. My sister's my best friend. We live together. My mom is the head of my management. We work together, and she's also just an incredible woman. So to keep them close, I think, is the constant reminder of how grateful I am to get to do what I love every single day. And, you know, I think if you ever forget that, then there's no point in doing it, right?
Yeah, then it just becomes the norm.
It becomes work, and it becomes like stressful, because it is stressful, and there's a lot of pressures that go into it. So if you don't love what you do, then we shouldn't be doing it.
What are some of the? I'm just so astounded how like it's all happened in more or less two and a half years.
Yeah, it really has.
Like that's what I'm trying to get my head around. It's like you blink and here you are.
Absolutely.
So, do you ever have those kind of surreal thoughts, or I guess like in theory, then this time 2 years, where do you want to be if you can see everything you've achieved in the past?
Question. You know, in 2 years, I would love to have either be on or to have been on a world tour.
Yes.
To have played Madison Square Garden.
All ahead of you.
And to continue being in feature films. You know, I really fell in love with acting, and I love that I get to do both. So I would love to have a career in film, have a career in music, and hopefully by that time maybe have a fashion line as well.
Yeah, so fashion is also a big thing for you. You were at Paris Fashion Week, weren't you?
Yes, I was in Paris Fashion Week.
And there was an article about Sofia in Vogue. I
got a Vogue article. I was like, we made it. This is for real.
That's it. Done. So
done.
Tell me about when you were younger, when you first started getting into fashion, and
the
first few clothes that you bought for yourself.
Absolutely. So the first things, I probably just realized, the first outfits that I wore were Disney princess outfits. Like from Belle to Cinderella. Like I have the photos. I was Belle every year for Halloween. I just loved dressing up, and I loved feeling like a princess and feeling feminine and classy. My mom has incredible taste, and my sister and I really got, I think, our love of fashion from her and from my grandma. And we would just spend our days like in her closet. I would put red lipstick on and like wrap pearls around my neck.
Stunning.
And and growing up, I just became really clear that I wanted to be a big part of my career in music and in film, because it's such an important part of you as a performer.
Yeah.
Fashion is who you are, how you express yourself. And I just love fashion. You know, icons like Audrey Hepburn, Grace Kelly, just timeless fashion, but still with a twist to make it still edgy. But I just love fashion.
So what would your fashion line be like?
You know, that's a great question. Like, I really love the line. I was able to go to Paris Fashion Week and to attend the Mugler fashion show, which was designed by David Coma, and I love his designs. So maybe to like work with him would be surreal. His designs they're very like structured, but still very feminine. Mm-hmm. So there's something really beautiful, but yet kind of really cool and edgy about it. So I think it would be something like that.
And who are some of the bloggers then, for anyone
so
listening
many.
to this? Like, what are the sort of bloggers that she follows on Instagram?
Yeah.
Who really inspires you?
I love Chiara Ferragni. I think she's
I love
fabulous.
Her. Blonde salad.
The blonde salad. I think she's kind of effortless and cool and so chic. I love Song of Style as well. I think she's great. And Chriselle Lim. So many, which was so cool being in Fashion Week. They were all sitting front row as well. And I was like, this is so cool. But it's so many amazing, amazing bloggers. And it's such a beautiful way to express yourself, I think.
It is indeed. So today's a very special day because you're here on AOL Build, but also because April 10th is also another really special day for Sofia. It's her birthday.
It is.
Happy birthday, Sofia. So I feel we have a little treat for you.
What? Oh my gosh.
From AOL Build, we would like to wish you a very happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having a special day here with us.
A macaroon?
Here you go.
Oh, this
happy
is so
birthday.
sweet. Okay, I have to make a wish.
Give her a moment. Moment of silence for your wish.
Okay.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. That is so sweet. I'm going to enjoy that very much.
Well, massive. We'll all have a piece of the cake.
Yes,
I feel there's enough.
There's a gift.
Come on up.
My gosh.
Thank you so much. Aww.
Oh. What's your name? Vanessa. Thank you so much.
Vanessa, do you have a question for Sofia?
I don't know. What inspired you to write the lyrics of Back to Beautiful?
That's a great question. You know, girls just like you did, because, you know, growing up, I was just like you, and I would listen to music all the time, and I always loved music that made me feel like I could do anything that I ever dreamt of, and that I was beautiful on the inside, and that no matter what anyone told me, I was unstoppable. And I think that back to beautiful, well, I hope that it means that to girls like you, that to know that you are beautiful right here, and that that's what matters most, and yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for my gift. That means so much to me.
Thank you.
What a special day. I'm never
I
gonna
know,
forget
right?
this.
Bombarded with gifts.
Yes.
Any other questions from the audience? I think we have a few more.
Hey, Sophia.
Oh.
Hi.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you so much.
So I know you mentioned that Brittany is going to be receiving an Icon Award.
Yeah.
Did she inspire you in any way? And is there a favorite Britney song that you
Oh my
enjoy?
gosh, you know, I was talking about that this weekend, and you know, growing up, Disney was really the pop princess for my generation. You know, Madonna was pop queen,
Yeah.
Disney was pop princess, so her music videos were obviously so inspiring. Oops, I Did It Again, Hit Me Baby One More Time. And I think we all of us in pop music kind of take a little piece of Britney with us wherever we go. Thank you.
Another question. Who has the microphone?
Hi, Sophia.
Hi.
Happy birthday.
Thank
by the
you.
way. Oh, I was just wondering, since you're very close with your sister, what's your favorite childhood memory with her?
That's a great, it's actually a really good one. I think she actually may have posted this little video on my birthday last year, but there's a video of us. I was a very dramatic child in that I was always like performing or dressed up and singing. And the first song I ever learned was Don't Cry For Me Argentina by Evita. Imagine like 3-year-old little me, like
Real casual, like.
casual. And for some reason, I really enjoyed doing like a hand movement like this. So I was like, don't cry for me. So I was like 3, dressed up, I think in a princess gown and a bandana on my head. Don't know why. And I'm just singing Don't Cry For Me to the top of my lungs. And my sister just in the background, like with a lollipop, just like,
Very impressed on the inside.
she's just like unamused, and then she just goes, she's like, like in front of the camera, like, no more singing, please. But it's just like, we had so many memories growing up where she's been such an incredible sense of support for me. And she's just such a special girl. She's graduating college this year, which none of us can believe, but it's a huge accomplishment. We're so proud of her. And she's growing up, but we're best friends. So any memory we have together is special to me.
Are you similar? Because I know I saw your mother backstage.
Yes, she looks
Quite
more like my
similar.
sister.
Okay.
So my mom is blonde. She's the beautiful blonde over there. She's gonna hide from everyone
Oh,
right now. So my sister and I are very polar opposites in every way, physically and even in personalities. But I think that's why it works so well. Her love is, she's more like a business mind. She loves makeup as well. She's never really been into acting or singing. So it's kind of the perfect balance.
Opposites attract.
Opposites
It
attract.
exists for a reason. that
Yes,
phrase.
exactly.
I think we've one final question. Oh, hello.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to make music?
Oh, that's a great question. What's your name?
Alina.
Alina. So Alina, I don't remember a time in my life when I wasn't in love with music, when I didn't imagine myself singing and dancing and performing. I started writing music when I was 10. And I remember we were being babysat by my grandma, and I was with my cousin and my sister. And the song was called Leave Me Alone. I don't know why. I was very dramatic, but I think I always got inspired by stories that I was told, or stories that I heard, or even songs really inspired me. But for me, in music, I love that as musicians we get to tell stories, whether it is a story about heartbreak or love or about empowerment. So whenever I feel, that kind of spark to tell a beautiful story is when I feel like it's most special.
Do you remember what Leave Me Alone went like?
It was like, leave me alone, don't bother me again, because I'm suffering from this heartbreak.
Yeah.
At 10.
10 years old.
At 10, I had
A
never even
star was born.
and we made like a little band, like me, my sister, and my cousin. He played the guitar. It was the funniest.
That the debut song?
It was I guess so. I guess we have
Rockin'
to
out.
find that. It was so bad. But hey, I think we're improving.
It worked. You're here right now.
I guess
Clearly,
so.
it was a star in the making.
Thank
Great
you.
education at
you.
the same time. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you
And
so
happy
much.
birthday
Thank
again.
you.
I
It was
hope
a
you
really
have a lovely
special day.
day.
Thank you. I
Great
love
to
you
have
guys.
you.
Thank you so much.